Today I'm going to cover off something we hear quite a lot, and that is, but I'm young, I don't need insurance. And I get it, we're young, we feel invincible, we think that nothing is ever going to happen to us. But I'm going to share a story with you today that's pretty close to my heart. And it's the reason that I got into advising. So I'll cover that off. What I'll also talk to you about is the type of insurance that's available out there, the different ownership and payment structures that is available, and why it's important that you take out insurance to keep you in line with your goals and to be sure that you can achieve those goals even if something does happen to you. So the reason I got into advising is that in 2011, I was overseas with my now wife, and we were cycling around France, and one afternoon I was descending a mountain and I was hit by a car, and that's a big thing to go through. So I was 24. I won't go into the gory details, but I was in a coma for about 3 weeks. I was in hospital in France for about 6 weeks before I could come back to Australia. It was a tough time for all involved. It took me out of the workforce for basically a year. It was 6 months of full-on rehab. And without the support of my wife and my family, life wouldn't be as peachy as it is today. At the time, I had no idea what income protection was. Could it have helped? Absolutely. But this is the thing that you learn through life. I learned by doing. And looking back now, some income protection would have been great, but so be it. So the reason I got into advising was I want everybody to live the best life that they can. And insurance is part of that. So some people might have a bit of life and TPD insurance as part of their superannuation account. Is it enough? Generally speaking, if you've got a mortgage, no, it's probably not. Everybody has different needs based on, do they have a wife? Do they have kids? Do they have, school fees that are going to come up? Do they have a large mortgage to pay? So everybody's needs are different. Let me quickly talk to you about the different types of insurance that there is out there. They are life, total and permanent disability, trauma insurance, and income protection. So life is in the event that you pass away, and there will be a payout to your remaining spouse or your estate. So that can cover things like paying off your mortgage. If you were to pass away, would you like your husband or your wife to live in your home and not have to worry about paying for the mortgage? They can, dealing with the unfortunate event, it'd be great to not leave them with a financial burden as to having to pay the mortgage. Things that also need to be considered is, do you have kids? What sort of a school do you want to send them to? Private school is getting quite expensive these days. So you can factor in an amount for that. Total and permanent disability or TPD is basically if you can never work again. So that could cover things such as, if you were made a quadriplegic. So it's a lump sum payout that can be used towards things like home modifications, movement aids such as a wheelchair, medical expenses, things like that. Trauma is if you suffer a major illness, so cancer, stroke, heart attack, those sort of things. Again, it's a lump sum payout that can be used for medical expenses and that sort of thing. The final one is income protection, and this is something that I firmly believe that every Australian should have. Insurers will cover up to 75% of your income in the event that you can't work. There is different waiting periods and different benefit periods, but essentially, if you can't go to work, they'll pay you some money, 75%. So once you get into the nitty gritty of the different types of insurance, there's things like agreed value income protection or indemnity income protection. There's own occupation TPD, any occupation TPD, and different payment structures and different ownership structures. So you can own some things through your superannuation fund, and your superannuation fund can fund the premiums. Some things you would pay for personally. And I guess this is where we can add value, is that we can look at your situation and determine what is the best structure, what is competitively priced, what's going to suit your needs best. Initially, insurance is a little bit of upfront work. You'll probably have to go through some underwriting, maybe some medical tests and blood tests and that sort of thing. But at the end of the day, once it is in place, it's locked in, and you don't have to worry again. So if in the event that you need to make a claim, it's already been underwritten and there should be no problems with the payout. So we can help you through that process. Now, when we think back to what we do here at Wealth Enhancers, we're out there trying to help you guys achieve your goals. And if something happens, you can't go to work, the cash flow stops. That is what's going to inhibit you from trying to achieve those goals. Insurance is the piece of the puzzle that keeps you tracking towards achieving your goals. So we do have insurance offer through the different membership packages at Wealth Enhancers. We also do an insurance only offer to tidy up your insurances, do the research, find out the best product, and do the implementation of that. So that's about it for me. I could speak for days on insurance, why it's beneficial, but hopefully I've given you a brief overview today. Definitely reach out if you'd like an insurance review and to get some insurance in place. Members at wealthenhancers.community, or you can contact me directly, Garry at wealthenhancers.community. Thanks, guys. Have a great day.